preparing for the AWS AI and ML certifications with the vBrownBag crew and our guest, Aaron Hunter. Hello. Whoops, wrong one. There we go. Hi, everybody. So tonight we have Sean joining us as co-host. I'm Damien, and our guest is Aaron Hunter. Chris is unavailable.
Hi, I'm Aaron.
Yes, that's Aaron. Chris is away on work, and Shala may be joining us. So yes, how's everyone doing tonight?
Great.
Yeah,
I'm great.
Good.
yeah. I'm not sold on that, Sean.
I know, Sean. I think Sean is great because earlier before we even hit record or go live, Sean's mic wasn't working, but we can hear him now. So I think he is great.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah.
awesome.
I tackled one tech problem for the evening, so I'm good.
Yes, yes.
You have lights on. We can see you. I can see your microphone. I can hear you. It's all wonderful now.
We are all good. So before we get into the meat of our show, let me pop this back up on the screen. Let's see. So you can join us online. We're at vBrownBag on the site that dare not shall speak its name. We're at vBrownBag.com on Blue Sky. You can also find us on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. Here are all of our handles. Sean, I realize that your handle is not there. Would you mind telling folks how they can find you if you would like?
It's all good. I'm actually I've actually taken a hiatus from social media platforms, so you can find me if I pop up on this show. That's where you can find me.
It's quite all right. It's quite all right. I get it. So, Aaron, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Aaron. I also just happen to edit my headline. So my alias is at Aaron S. Hunter on most platforms except Instagram. It's Aaron S. Hunter 1213 because that's my birthday. I'm telling you a lot about myself, aren't I? Anyway, so if you want to send me a birthday message, please do so on
birthday messages now.
I know. I hope so.
It's not the worst thing we've said on this show. Not the worst thing by far.
Exactly. I think Damien were talking about an episode a few months ago, and they were talking about. So Damien, you mentioned that there was names and nameplates and all that, and that one way to kind of register how popular your name was is the name cards on the carousels. And you said, well, back in the 70s, Damien may not be a popular name because of a TV show.
Right. Yes.
I did watch some vBrownBag. That's proof.
Yes, you did. Yeah. So he's talking about a show that we had with Damian Burks.
Yeah.
Who does the DevSecOps Blueprint. And yeah, we were talking about that, just kind of talking about the rise in popularity of the name Damien. Back in the 70s and actually early 80s, when I was very young in school, I got a lot of crap because it's oh, are you the devil? Right? Because it was some devil movie where the kid was named Damien, or the devil kid was named Damien. So, but now Damiens are everywhere. So yay.
Well, that's all good. And I do like the show. I have seen some movies. There's some TV shows, Legends. I'm not sure if you've seen that one, but there's a character named Damien there. Anyway, you asked me a question about me and who I am, and I went on this side tale about what I do for fun, which is watch vBrownBag. So who am I? I am a principal developer advocate at AWS, and I specialize in helping people prepare for their certifications. So that ranges from the practitioner level all the way up to associate, all the way up to professional, and even all the way up to specialty. So today we're going to talk about the AI practitioner, the machine learning engineer associate, and the machine learning specialty. And curveball, I'm going to throw in the cloud practitioner there, and I'll make sense in that in just a few minutes here. But
very cool.
That's me. I guess I should tell you about my location where I am based. Frisco, Texas, just north of Dallas. Mm-hmm. So anyone watching live, let us know where you're joining from. If you're watching the recording, leave a comment and let us know where you're joining from or watching from. I've done this a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm actually watching live from Austin, Texas. So howdy.
You're watching live or you're joining live?
I'm actually hosting live from Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Believe it or not, yeah.
Up in the Pacific Northwest, up near the HQ, AWS HQ. Yep.
Seattle, Everett, all that.
Just north of Seattle. Yeah, but I just say Seattle because it's like, where are you? Washington. Which one? Just Seattle, right?
Yeah.
People know. So
Yeah, I say Frisco and I say north of Dallas because people say like San Francisco. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Anyway, that's pretty much it for me. We can go down a rabbit hole of like who I am, my whole backstory. I can tell you like all my injuries in life. Yeah,
Did Frisco used to be dry? Was it a dry county, or is that like
it still is.
Plano or something I'm thinking of?
Frisco, Plano, so neighboring cities.
Yeah.
Frisco is immediately north of Plano.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. I remember years ago, like there was actually a dry county up there still. And I don't know if they exist much in Texas.
What
Anyways,
do you
I
mean
know
by
a lot of,
dry?
so they don't sell alcohol.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, I was thinking like dry, not
As
getting
in
any
no rain.
weather.
precipitation. Right.
No,
Yeah,
no, no, no. A lot
that's
of
where I was going.
Texas
I was
is
like,
dry in that way.
it kind of is like it's kind of. I mean, if you're thinking anyway, liquor wise, yes, Frisco is not dry. They have like a couple of businesses that sell liquor. Anyway, we're not here for that.
So, real unnecessary fun fact that's not fun at all. Arkansas currently has the highest number of dry counties.
I feel like you just researched that using AI.
I did Google it because I wanted to make sure I was right, but we
Was there
went.
the AI overview?
Yeah, it was the Google one, and it didn't tell me to like microwave a fork or chew foil or something. So that's a win. Um, but we went on vacation in Arkansas because we were meeting some family that live up in Minneapolis, and it's kind of in between. Anyways, we were like, let's go get some booze. We were in a dry county, and that's what sent me down that whole rabbit hole on vacation. And I just wanted to refresh my memory. So thank you for keeping me honest, Aaron.
It sounds like you had a great memory to refresh at that
Yes,
moment.
driving an hour to the liquor store. That was fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and add your screen to the stage. Are you ready for that?
I'm never ready for anything.
All right. That's excellent.
But I just wing it. YOLO, bro.
Okay. There you go.
Cool. So before we begin, this is a bit about who I am because Damien, you asked me that, and Sean is clearly still interested in knowing more about me. So I am well, let me zoom in a bit here for all our friends who are on the other side of the screen. Hi, I'm Aaron. You can reach me at Aaron S. Hunter on most platforms. And I am a principal developer advocate specializing in AWS. Now, I said specializing, but I also currently am an employee. So there's that full transparency. So everything I will be talking about today is going to be AWS focused, which makes sense because you're here to watch for what the AWS AI ML certification paths look like, which I'm going to, in one of these tabs here, I'm going to pull it up. I promise. I tried my best to prepare.
Quite all right.
So if you want to know more about my gear, I have an affiliate link and all that. And you can follow me on your most preferred social media channels. I actually don't have Blue Sky up here. So dang, I gotta fix
It's
that.
okay. It's all right.
Dang, I'm also Aaron S. Hunter on there too. So there's that. All right. Anyway, so before we begin, I want to bring up one post, and that's this one. Hey, look, it's Chris. And we see Damien, and we also see Shala, who isn't here yet, but we have Sean. And so like I mentioned, today we're going to talk about how to prepare for the AWS AI ML certifications with, hey friends, it's me, Aaron. And I want to bring up one more post because this is actually relevant to like any certifications. Now, Damien, question for you, and also for Sean, but Damien first and then Sean, because it's always fun when both of you talk over each other. So Damien, when you're learning something brand new, like how do you do it? What do you do?
Um,
This is unfair because Sean gets a moment to think about the answer.
no, it's quite all right. I tend to learn best by doing. So, for example, if I'm learning a new programming language, just do it. You know, I
Push to prod.
yeah, yeah. Just on a
Especially on a
Friday, right as you're
Friday.
walking out the door, just like, yeah, let's.
Oh my gosh, I feel like that's what happened last week when Marvel Rivals wasn't working. They
Or
pushed to
today
prod on
when
a
Slack
Friday.
was down for a lot of folks.
Oh, that was yeah, that
Yeah.
was great.
But yeah, I tend to learn a lot by doing. I don't watch a lot of videos when I'm learning, unless I'm like trying to crash course on something before an exam, like like one of those, here's everything you need to know about an exam, just as a refresher before I go in. But I would say, for the most part, doing and reading is how I tend to learn best.
Cool. So
Yeah.
doing and reading in either order, I'm guessing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sean, so how do you learn something new, Sean?
I have a pretty methodical way that's worked really well for me. Uh, so I'm actually the opposite. I learn very well by if it's like something brand new, I learn really well by observing and reading first, and then doing. Um, and I'll make flashcards for myself. So I'm a big fan of. There's this program called Anki, which uses space repetition, and so I use that a lot. If it's something I already know, like say if it's for a certification, like that I'm recertifying for, I'll typically like do some practice scenarios or like quiz myself on my flashcards. And if there's anything that I don't know, then I'll like add a new flashcard because I already kind of know, what I mean? Like it's already in there in
Right.
up in here. So it's like, where are my gaps because it's been so long, and
Hmm.
then I'll start quizzing myself again.
Totally
Flashcards
not
are
part of
really
my
good.
conversation, but like, have you heard of Quizlet?
No.
I have.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm plugging a third party here. Quizlet is like this like online flashcard game, and gosh, okay, hold on, Quizlet. I'm gonna pull it up super quick because I think it's like valuable to people who like may not have like heard of it. But Quizlet is no, I don't want to do that. Quizlet is like going to allow you to sign up for free. You can be a teacher. You can like create your own study guides and flashcards and practice tests. Like I used it
Oh, cool.
when I was first learning something, and I was like, "This is amazing." And there's a lot of applications out there, but this is one that I personally have used in the past, and it's worked for me.
Mhm.
Awesome. I'll have to check it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Anyway, so you both like to read and then do push to prod on a Friday evening. I got it. And the thing that I like to emphasize to people, and also my own personal experience, is my way of studying is I like to watch. And I'll watch like intently, and I will take notes. And then let's say if I'm commuting to work, I'll listen to the same thing that I just watched. Because when you listen to it without watching it, you hear it differently and you hear something new.
Hmm.
Because you're watching getting distracted. But if you listen to the same thing, you're going to hear something brand new. It's going to stick differently. And then I'll do the thing that they just talked about. I'll do the demo, and then I learn even deeper. So very similar to like reading, but what I'm trying to say is like each person has their own way and style of learning. So find what's right for each of you and figure out that portion and just lean into it and experiment like different learning styles and strategies, because maybe reading is your thing now, but maybe listening and watching is your thing later.
Right.
So um, going into like some tips that I can give people, you can see like I'm highlighting something here. Even though this is focused on the AWS DevOps professional certification, I want to highlight the fact that this is not applicable to just this one certification. All of these steps, for the most part, can be applied to like every single certification across the industry.
Hmm.
Ultimately, let's focus more on like AWS. And that's not just me saying that, because I'm going to look at this repost that someone reposted and they commented. So right here, Darnell said, excellent points, not at the level of professional cert, but this applies to going from foundational cert to associates as well. So that's
Right.
not just me saying it, that's Darnell saying it. So let's take a look at these 4 steps, the 4 tips, not even steps. The DevOps Pro course on Skillbuilder or AWS Skillbuilder. And I have one here for, oh, snap. I have one here for certified cloud practitioner. I have one here for certified AI practitioner, one here for ML engineer associate. And let's scroll up a bit, one here for certified ML specialty. But we'll come back to those because the goal is to walk through like these 4 tips.
Hmm.
That's the first thing. We'll walk through the catalog for each one. That's going to take up a lot of time. I'm going to try to make it pretty brief and quick here. And then think about what certifications that someone already has or what their goal is. Because if we take a look at what the certifications are and what the paths are, we can see the certification paths that's actually from our exam prep team. But first, what's your experience? What should you start with? Are you new to cloud? Are you a line of business role or an IT professional? And we'll talk about that in just a few moments here too. And then reflect on what hands-on experience you have. So you both said push to prod on a Friday. So do things. And that's where this comes in. So working through workshops, these are going to be in your own account. So if you don't want to do that, you can use CloudQuest. And there's some hands-on role-playing games here to get that hands-on experience and do the things. So that's tip number 3. And then the last one, if you have taken the exam and didn't pass, I'm going to expand this and say, even if you did pass, so you want to dive even deeper into the technology, and it's getting the certification shouldn't be an end stop. It's like you got a piece of paper that says you know things today, but you want to continue knowing those things, and technology doesn't stop once you get certified. Sean, before we started, you mentioned the certifications that you had and how they've expired, but I imagine you haven't stopped studying and learning.
No, not at all. Yeah, no, I see the certifications as a way to quickly ramp on subject areas that I haven't had exposure on. And then, at least for me personally, I'll strategically say, okay, well, this is where I'm continuing to work. So I'm going to keep focus here. And ancillarily, I'll, keep learning about over here, but that's not really my focus. So I'm, but it's giving me that background quickly to like, okay, now I have an understanding of this domain, right? So I'm not walking into a room and somebody says something and I don't know, I can spell ML, but I don't know what ML is, right? Or something like that, right? So
That's
I
still
hope you
me
can
though.
spell ML. So,
that imposter syndrome, which I did watch that vBrownBag with Ashley Lyon, by the way. Everyone should go check that one out. That one is super applicable. It's like that imposter syndrome of like, you did this thing. And Sean, I'm going to lean into what you just said here for a second, because it's like, yeah, you can spell ML, but you don't really know what it is. Like, do any of us really know what it is? Because it's constantly evolving. Technology is changing. AI is evolving. We saw Will Smith eating spaghetti with like 15 fingers a year ago, right? And now there's like Nova Reels from Amazon's like models on Bedrock that can generate a dog walking through a neighborhood with like a hippie vibe shirt in like less than 5 minutes.
Right. And it's photorealistic.
Like I don't get it. Yeah. There's also Claude 3.7 that was announced 2 days ago from Anthropic, like available through Bedrock, and like it has Claude code that's available through 3.7. There's like a lot of people posting all over social media saying, hey, you can actually use Claude code to build a fully functional web app in 2 minutes with authentication. And it's like, if there's an error message, hey, Claude code, here's the error message, fix it. Oh, my bad. And it's like, and then you can just deploy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So
it's the
tying
pace
it back to
is astronomical.
It is. And like, you got to keep up with it. Anyway, tying it back to like AWS services, because that's how I get paid.
It's how you can afford the house you're in.
Yeah. So there's like Amazon Bedrock that is adopting these new models that are available from either Anthropic, or creating their own large language models and foundation models like Nova Reels or Nova Canvas, Nova Canvas for images, like text to image, Nova Reel, like text to video.
Did you say Nova Canvas?
Yeah.
Oh, I swore I heard cannabis, and I was like, wow, they went there, did they?
I mean, there's some dry states on that.
Okay, Nova Canvas. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. No, let me pull that up, because Bedrock, Nova. What is Amazon Nova? And I'm going to pull this up over here because I know how to not expose my browser history. So here there's like Nova Pro, Nova Lite, Nova Micro, and then you have Nova Canvas, which is like text to image, and you have Nova Reel, which is text to video. So you could say, generate a dog walking through a neighborhood on a sunny day, and what you end up getting is, let me actually open up Finder, and I'm going to get to my downloads, and let me see if I can find it real quick. I was not prepared for this, Damien. Dang it, on the spot.
It's
Hold
okay.
on.
It's what happens when you go off script.
I know. I don't have a script. I have an outline of something that I think I might want to talk about. Today, yesterday, no, not that one. 2 days ago, maybe. There it is. So I asked Nova Canvas to generate a picture of a groovy dog, and this is a paused video, but it's essentially the same dog that was in the image. The dog was sitting, it was smiling, it was happy. So this is what was generated, and I was like, that's good. I will accept that because it's something that I couldn't have drawn. It's something I probably couldn't find on the internet. It's very specific to what I was saying. And by the way, there's another video on the AWS LinkedIn channel that like talked all about this. And it was someone doing a presentation. You can look up Trevor Spires on AWS's LinkedIn, and he and a couple of his other hosts were talking about this same exact scenario. So then they were like, hey, can we take that same exact prompt and put that same prompt into Amazon Bedrock using Nova Reel and turn it into a video? And here it is. 4 legs, never 5, never 6, never 3. Dogs wagging its tail. It's a very short clip. It's 6 seconds. And that's about what I've seen that Nova Reel does when you're using it through the console. I'm sure if you use the API, you can make it longer, but check the documentation on that. But here it's like wagging its tail. You can see like there's some artifacting happening with like the fur on the face and some shadowing that's like a little bit different. The eyebrows kind of shift, but for like a free service that I didn't pay anything to like generate this.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that goes back to like, yeah, this is a service, and this is one service that's like within Amazon Nova. It's a model, but it's available within Amazon Bedrock. Now, why are we here? We're here to talk about people preparing for their exam, not just the services. It all zippers and folds into itself. But the last one here, if you've taken the exam, if you didn't pass, or even if you have taken the exam and you did pass, we're going to dive even deeper because that's kind of how we spun off into this like Nova Canvas, Nova Reel thing. Then there's a sheet on the score. And I want to call this out here because that sheet is power. It'll tell you what you're good at. It'll tell you what you can improve on. It'll say, hey, you exceed expectations, or actually you meet expectations for these domains. And every single certification has multiple domains, 4, 5, 6 domains, depending on the exam. And on that matrix, it'll tell you what you can also improve on. So I encourage everyone to take a look at that sheet if you're taking the exam and continue diving deeper into it. Or if you didn't pass, that's your area of growth. And this actually came from right here. This post and this feedback, or the tips that I've shared, is directly inspired by someone who reached out to me saying they didn't pass their DevOps Pro twice and they needed some help and guidance. So this is the guidance I gave them, and they're working on hopefully passing it their 3rd time.
Yeah. Twice can be
great advice.
Yeah, and hopefully that person was seeing an upward trend.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully. Now let's be more specific around AI and ML, because that was the DevOps Pro, but it still applies to all. Now, when we're looking toward the certifications and the different journeys here, I'm going to zoom in a bit for this because I feel like I can zoom out later, but let's fill the screen up for everyone. I kind of want to start with like, what's the good starting point? Are they just getting started? Are they brand new to IT in the cloud? Are they already in some kind of line of business role? Are they already an IT professional? Like maybe they're a marketer and they want to learn more about like the technology they're supporting or adopting. Maybe they're an IT professional and they're just getting started on AWS. They have a lot of like hands-on experience. They rack and stack all the servers. Hi, that was me back in 2015. I didn't know anything about cloud. 10 years ago. I thought the cloud, I thought all my data was like droplets in the sky in the clouds, and no, there's actually servers somewhere
Mm-hmm.
apparently.
Yep.
So for like anyone who's preparing, there's a difference between like a non-IT background and then a 1 to 3 years of IT or STEM background and somewhere in between. So like Damien, when you were first getting started in tech, like that's probably a dangerous question.
No.
that probably is no longer relevant to today, like with most of us. But let's say when
No, it is
you,
worth pointing out though. It is a much different landscape today than it was when I was getting into it in the early 2000s.
yeah, and Sean, I imagine for you when you were first getting started in tech, it was a different landscape than it is now. So let's
Absolutely,
say,
100%.
yeah.
Yep.
Now, some advice for people who are just getting started today, or like maybe doing like a career transition or a shift. Just super quick, like what might be one tip that you would give them if they were like trying to work toward one of these certifications? And while you're thinking about that answer, I'm going to spit my gum out real quick.
It's quite all right. So, is the question what
If
advice I would
someone,
give to someone new in the field?
yeah, because like we're kind of looking at these different roles and their different levels of experience. So
Right.
there's new to IT and cloud. And I want to focus here first because I want to make sure that we're helping people prepare from
Hmm.
these different levels
Yeah.
because there's different approaches that we can recommend for each level.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I think certifications are a great way of uh, gaining and being able to point to a piece of paper that says that you have gotten that knowledge, right? Much like how a degree says, "Hey, yes, I did sit in a chair for 6 years or whatever, and here's my piece of paper that proves it," right? So, a cert is a great way to do it, or even um, so. I'll talk about my own self, right? I have been in technology a long time. I reached the point in my career where getting new certs no longer made a positive impact on my salary. So what did I do? I stopped doing it. And then after a few years of getting away from the tech and getting more into the business side of technology, and then wanting to come back into the technology side of technology, I was in a place where I didn't have any certs that were relevant. I didn't have any relevant education that I could point to. And so I did exactly this. I went out and I got a bunch of foundational certs, right? They're relatively inexpensive. If you focus, you can knock them out quickly. If you need to try multiple times, it won't break the bank, right? Like some certs require you to take classes to actually do the cert, and that can be extremely expensive. And so this is a great way of just kind of level setting. And I learned a lot about things that I had talked about, a certain other cloud that's available here in the United States that I talked about in my previous roles. But
Oh
I
yeah?
never, yeah,
What
yeah.
color would your lightsaber be? Huh?
So this was when I was working at VMware, and I usually don't say the V word on this show,
That's the
but
other V word because
yeah,
we're on vBrownBag.
yes. But yeah, like I had never logged in to that cloud's console before, right? Um, and in fact, I hadn't been on the AWS console uh, probably for a long time. I think I really only got back onto it last year, and then I built a Lambda service that works in the background for the kind of automated tasks that we use for the vBrownBag. So um, yeah, blah blah blah. I was in that exact spot where I needed to reskill or I needed to kind of pivot things, and this type of cert is great for anyone at any point who wants to make a change.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Sean, I'm going to switch the role level here. What would be some advice that you would give people for like a line of business? Maybe someone who's in sales or marketing or another business role that maybe wants to learn more about the technology side.
Yeah, I think, as you have here in this PDF, really taking a foundational level like the cloud practitioner is a good starting point because it gives you an idea So if you're going for the technical piece, right, understanding networking, understanding applications, understanding security, that's all critical, especially if you're new to IT, because the cloud is similar technologies that have been around for a while, just redesigned in a scalable and dynamic manner. But you still have to understand the fundamentals, right? You have to understand networking. You got to understand security. You got to understand how applications work. Um, but for like more of a sales marketing role, yeah, understanding sort of the business side of how using cloud and ML related services can accelerate, understanding how it can accelerate versus trying to build all these things yourself in house is key, right? Like, why
Mhm.
should I use this thing? What advantages does it give me versus, you know, trying to build a blob storage on my own, right? Why should I use S3 when I can just build this in my data center?
Oh
Well,
my gosh. Why
right.
would you even want to like bring that up? That is what nightmares are made of. I don't want to build my own blob data store.
So
Why should I buy electricity from the stupid electricity company when I
When I
can
can
make my own?
pedal my own
bike
bike.
faster. I
Yes.
mean, I can just why should I buy eggs when I can just buy chickens?
Yeah,
Did you know
yeah.
that if you buy enough potatoes, you can power maybe your smartphone?
Hmm. Yeah, you can make a potato battery for sure.
Bzz.
Yeah,
Anyway,
make
sorry,
your own
Sean. Go
S3.
ahead.
Good lord.
No, no, no.
Why
Uh,
would you build your own storage blob, Sean?
but I mean, yeah, I mean, and all, I, getting that to again quickly ramp, right? Quickly ramp, quickly getting understanding the services, what services exist, what they do, what are the major ones involved in this area is certification, a foundational certification, I think is awesome for that.
Yep.
Yep. And moving over to like the IT professionals, like those who have 1, 2, 3 or more years of experience, like, yeah, maybe starting with an associate. So like Damien said, he let his certifications lapse because he no longer at the moment saw value in keeping them and maintaining them. That's a whole different opinion than mine. But uh I
Yes.
I per-
I'm not advocating that opinion, by the way. I'm just telling you what I did.
that and that is an opinion, that is a story, that is a life lesson, that is a lesson learned.
Yes.
Because it probably made it harder for you at the end of the day to say, hey, now I have this knowledge and certifications. Like, yeah, it didn't help you then at the moment, but like if you have the knowledge, like maintain it, because it makes it easier to say, I'm still a professional level,
Hmm.
and here's my story, here's my star story, my situation, task, action, result, plus tying back to like I can certify and I'm validated. So if you have 1, 2, 3 years of experience, like you can start with the associate, and the machine learning engineer associate is a really good place to start. So this all comes back to like, who is the what certification is the right certification for the people in their current career? Are they just starting, or are they already established?
Hmm.
And we scroll down, you can see there's a whole lot of certification paths. It's grouped by role, by the way. So we can see architecture, we can see data analytics, we can see development, operations, and if you keep scrolling all the way down past DevOps and security, which by the way is DevSecOps, and if you add networking is DevSecNetOps, and then AI and ML. So there are 4 different roles. This is where I do have to zoom out a bit. So I'm sorry everyone who's watching. So I want to try to bring it up on screen. But you have prompt engineer. I'm going to try to get this up a little bit higher here. You have prompt engineer, machine learning engineer, machine learning ops engineer, and data scientist. Now, there's probably more roles. Things are changing all the time, but these are the 4 that our exam prep team at AWS have identified and put this like breadcrumb trail of recommendations on a certain certification for you. Now, even though if you have 1, 2, or 3 years of experience, if you're a prompt engineer, the AI practitioner is not just a recommended one. It's not just optional. It's a truly recommended one. Machine learning engineer, it does say optional for AI ML professionals, but that means you're already an AI ML professional. You're not just getting started. So if you're new to cloud, or if you're maybe a sales marketing role or some kind of line of business role, then yeah, start with cloud practitioner, then move over to AI practitioner. One second.
Hey,
So yeah,
with that quick break. If there are any links that you can share in the chat, I can repost them. One of our viewers was asking about it. Stephanie was asking about it. So yeah, if you've got any links,
Stephanie, where's Stephanie?
she is S Docile, I believe.
Where I mean, YouTube, LinkedIn, X,
She's actually on Twitch, and she's
on
watching from
Twitch.
Montreal. Yeah.
vBrownBag.
Yep.
Hold on. Am I logged in? I'm not logged in. Okay, I can't.
It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, if you want to just paste it in the chat, I can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a whole lot of links here. I mean, this link is super long, but I do have one that is got it. Okay. This one right here. I'm going to bring it up so that way you can see it. bit.ly / AWS cert paths. That's honestly the link for anyone who's watching live. Let me get rid of that. And I'm also going to exit full screen over here and drop it in the chat for Damien. There you go. Cool. So now that we're looking at this, my thing that I want to share with you is personally, even though it says optional for IT professionals, and I'm going to zoom in a bit so that we can actually see it. It says optional for IT professionals on the Cloud Practitioner. If you're just getting started, I highly recommend that you start with a Cloud Practitioner. It's not AI ML focused. You will see some AI ML technologies mentioned. It's going to talk about non-AI ML technologies because the purpose, the advantage of doing this is focusing on the Cloud Practitioner certification will allow you to focus on the AWS services and reduce your overhead of learning. Because then when you get to the point of like really learning AI ML, you're not stressed on learning the AWS services as much. Because like, why have that cognitive overhead?
Right.
If you're just getting started. If you don't know anything about AWS, start with a Cloud Practitioner. So that's,
or if you don't know anything about AI and AWS in general, and you get to this thing and it's like, what's a confusion matrix? Now I got to go look at all these things about that, right? And figure out those formulas. And it's like so
a confusion matrix is basically Aaron every morning before coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so looking at the Cloud Practitioner, that's this one right here. I have a link that I'm going to share out with everyone. Actually, I'm going to make sure that all these links are available to people in just a few moments here so I can kind of walk through this. But this is the Certified Cloud Practitioner. And if we click on this first little box right here, I'm going to focus on this. It says download the exam guide, same spot for every single certification landing page I'm going to share out. But here, this is going to walk through the entire exam guide, list all the domains like I mentioned, and it'll even, I'm going to zoom real fast, past all the domains, task statements, and everything. I'm going to do a little bit deeper on this in the AI ML one. But here, there's the concepts and technologies that might appear on the exam. This is Cloud Practitioner. So keep in mind that it's not going to be focused on AI and ML, but you still may see things like machine learning on the exam.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of tiptoe into machine learning. You can still see things like, hold on, the well-architected framework and security, it will be on any AI and ML certification because security is top priority and it's going to be everywhere. So there's the benefits to migrating, cost management, databases. That may not be relevant, but you know what is? Machine learning.
Yep.
And I've caught wind that some people might have seen Bedrock on the Cloud Practitioner. Let's see. Is it out of scope? Analytics. There's application integration, which is apparently application integration. If you look at that, that's AI. That's the different AI.
I was going to say, I've used all of those. Those aren't AI, but okay.
No. But yeah,
I think
there's that.
Functions orchestration would work better if it was AI and not me. But yes.
So let's see. Bedrock. I don't see Bedrock specifically mentioned anywhere in the exam. So I have caught wind from some people who have taken the Cloud Practitioner and said, yeah, you should know at least what Bedrock is too, right? So there's that. Now, that's this one. I am going to grab this link for all of you. And I'm going to drop it over to Damien. So that way you have it.
I was grabbing those links. See,
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, so if you can share the links that I'm sharing, because they have tracking codes and it helps me pay my bills, that'd be great.
okay.
Because all the clicks tie back to like things and hashtag sponsored by AWS.
Yep. I get it. DAs are measured. I understand.
Yeah. So that way there's that. And then I'll share out actually the other ones in the future. So that way you can bring them up here too. So there's that one. Give me a second, everyone who's watching live. And there's one more. And here's one more that I'm also going to bring up. So if you want to post these as we're talking about them, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Cool.
And also, like I or Chris always do whenever we re-edit these and then repost them on YouTube with show notes, we'll have the links in the video description as well.
Perfect.
So you don't have to sit there and watch the video and write it down.
Nice. Yeah. So if you're watching live, go back and watch the recording once it's edited.
Yes.
And
yes, with all the ad rolls. Yes.
Yeah.
So we can pay our S3 bill.
Yeah, paying the bills. I mean, S3 should be like cost optimized, and like hopefully you're doing long-term storage. And let's talk about that later. So that way you don't have to worry about building your own. Well, I mean, you shouldn't be building your own data blob store.
You don't want to build your own.
No.
vBrownBag, powered by bikes.
Yes.
So now that you've gone through and you've worked toward the cloud practitioner, gosh, I'm so thrown off. Then you want to go toward the AI foundational, right? And that's this one right here. Yay! Links. Ready? On the screen. And magic fingers. Get the link on the screen.
Sorry, cloud practitioner. Yeah.
No, we're on AI practitioner now.
Yeah. Hang on. Oh, AI practitioner?
Ooh, yeah, that's this one. It says AI. It's the big image. It says AI practitioner.
I was looking for the thing in the chat. Oh, there it is. I got it. Calm down, everybody. I'm going to leave this in post.
Do it.
So,
yeah, yes. please do.
So everyone gets to enjoy this in the future.
Right there. Bomb. There you go. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. So there's the link to this. bit.ly/exam prep AIF, which actually is the code for the exam. So you'll probably see a trend with a lot of these bit.lys. If you want to get to any of these others, you can actually take that bit.ly link and then you can replace it with like this is MLA and this is MLS, by the way. But focusing on AIF, same thing, the exam guide. Let's help our friends here. Now we've been talking for like 45 minutes and we haven't really talked about like how to help them prepare. Mm-hmm. There's a couple options. One is this 4-step plan. And the 4-step plan is going to be very similar across any one of these certifications. It's going to say get to know the exam with exam style questions. And there's some free options and paid options. And every single one of these has, let's see, a standard exam prep plan or enhanced, which has like labs and additional details. But you do pay that $29 a month for Skillbuilder. There's twitch.tv/AWS training live. Twitch.tv AWS training live. Actually, for this one, I'm going to say AWS because we have a brand new series that just launched recently. And I'm going to pull this up right here. And what this is going to do is if you click on the videos, then you'll see that we have recent broadcasts, AWS Power Hour. And right there. Hey, look, it's me. Same background. I was like, I'm here twice.
Yes.
This is great. But this is helping people study and prepare for the AI practitioner certification. And this is domain 4 and domain 5 of the exam. And you can see that right here from the exam guide. We go up and click on that, then scroll down to the domains right here. Every single domain has an exam. Now I mentioned the exam guide and what the exam guide is, but I didn't really like go into details about it because I want like everyone here who's watching a chance to like kind of explore it on their own. But it's going to break down the domain and the task statements of that domain. And the way that I recommend people read the exam guide is to understand it from like a high level. Like, what is it asking you to understand as an objective?
Mm-hmm.
Defining basic AI terms, for example, what is AI? What is ML? Like, can you spell it? Who knows? But it's going to go a little bit deeper than that. Like deep learning. What is deep learning? What is a neural network? What is computer vision? If you don't know what that is, that's a real quick, easy lift to go watch one of the courses here under like the refreshing your knowledge and skills under step 2. It's saying refresh, but if you don't know what it is, it's still a really good starting point for people to get some information and some knowledge, like fundamentals of machine learning and AI. Takes you an hour and it's free. It's digital, so you can do it at your own pace. It's a really good place to start. So if what I'm about to say gets back to my manager or my director or Matt Garman, the CEO, I apologize in advance, but don't pay the $29 immediately if you don't have a subscription. Take care of the free stuff first and then take advantage of the $29 for the paid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If that ever gets back to my boss. Hi, boss. Or bosses. But I can say that that's a really good way to cost optimize your learning. Because at AWS, like we want to help people cost optimize everything. If you can take advantage of even something like that and sign up when you need it, it's the same thing as like taking advantage of the free tier first and then paying the things as you need it with like
Right.
EC2 or S3, like free tier first. That's kind of the thing that we push, right? Same thing here with Skillbuilder.
Yeah. And if you're anything like me, I tend to find something and then hyper focus on it. And then it's dead to me like 3 weeks later. So starting with the free one is a good way to save money. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So now there's that. And then you can keep going down. Step 3, review and practice, which has like practice exams. And then you have assess the exam readiness, which is the official pre-test. This thing does require a paid subscription.
mm-hmm.
It's worth it. This is the one time where you're actually like, not the one. This is one of the times that you'll hear me say like, just pay for it. It's $29 a month. You get access to the full catalog. And this is not me pushing like marketing messaging, by the way. This is me saying like, as an employee, I get free access to this. I would pay for this.
Yeah.
Because it gives me this like, it relieves my test anxiety. Like I get very, very high anxiety. I test well, but no matter what, I always get this like sense of like, oh my gosh, do I know it? And this goes through like the same rigor and testing process as the actual exam. So you can take this and say, oh, okay, cool. Like I'm either aligned to what I need to know or I'm not, and it'll give you feedback so you can go back and like focus on a domain very similar to the exam results.
I was going to ask, does it give you, so if you get a question wrong, does it give you like the reasoning why and where you can find information in the documentation and things like that?
Not on this one. But, oh, actually, you know what? I lied. Yes. You'll receive feedback on answer choices for each question, including recommended resources to deepen your understanding on key topics. But you know what? There's actually if we go up, so Sean, yes, it will. But exam prep, let me scroll down towards step 3, free, standard course. Okay, hold on. Where is it? I thought I saw
an
it.
escape room?
That's
3D escape room?
yeah. That's really
interesting.
cool. Right here. It is part of the paid subscription model, but let's click on that and see what it looks like. Because I want to highlight that real quick. It's really, really cool. I'm gonna put this in full screen. You probably can't hear the music, so I'm gonna mute it on my end. Watch the video, like scroll down, step 3. It's the third link there. But like this is Escape Room from the same makers of Cloud Quest. And you can actually like solve challenges and it's gonna ask you questions. Like it again, another value add to like getting the subscription because like that subscription is not just like the AI practitioner. It's going to align to, it's going to give you access to the resources for like the machine learning engineer associate as you level up, and then like machine learning specialty as you level up to that. But yeah, this is the escape room. I mean, clapping, just like everyone gets certified. They're over there clapping. What's Amazon Q developer? I have no idea. I'm going to use escape room to figure it out.
That's pretty cool.
Anyway,
That's neat.
yeah.
So that's gamifying learning.
It's all about game-based learning, exactly.
Yeah.
So Cloud Quest, immersive role-playing simulation. But yeah, so here, where was I? This is the landing page for the AI practitioner. Very, very similar thing with the machine learning engineer associate. You can click on it, get the exam guide, get all these different resources, and then remember, like you can also check out Twitch too, and the machine learning specialty. That's pretty much it. That's all I got.
Oh,
There's that. Oh yeah,
great.
workshops.
Okay. Workshops.
So, yeah, pushing the prod on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Hands-on, deploying a thing, building stuff, actually understanding what it is, not just what it is, but how you do it. So let's say you go through Cloud Quest and you get that hands-on experience through these structured labs, and you get to like test out of it and so forth, especially like, or not especially, but also with like escape room. But you want to do some different workshops in your account. Well, there's a lot of different workshops here. I think there's like over 200, I believe. I haven't counted in a while. But you can see there's an AI/ML. There's AI/ML. I don't know what each one does. Let's click on both. There's AI/ML workshops like mastering LLM evaluation. That sounds fun. Or personalizing 101 for e-commerce. That sounds fun. Level 200, level 300. It talks about Amazon Bedrock and SageMaker. It even talks about Nova, that's wild because that came out like 2 months ago during reInvent. So this has been updated. It talks about machine learning. That's fun. Personalized, Data Brew, Lambda, personalization, e-commerce. When you're looking for like the workshop that you want to do, align it to what gaps you have after you take that official practice question or the practice test. And then also the exam guide for the exam that you're looking at, because you want to make sure that you're maximizing your time, not just like learning everything. You can do that later on. Study what you need to prepare for the exam, take the exam, hopefully pass it, and then go back and deepen your knowledge. Don't let it stop there. So here's this video-based driver monitoring with AWS IoT and AI ML. Machine learning specialist. This reads to me machine learning specialist, machine learning engineer associate. Maybe not like AI practitioner, especially level 300. Level 400, Amazon EKS support and Amazon SageMaker Hyperpod. That sounds like a fun one. I don't know how much it might help someone with like their certification journey, but yeah, go ahead and do it if that's something you want to focus on.
There is a good sized group of people that are like, thank you. This is exactly what I've been wanting in my life.
Yeah. Very, very good size.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would
Sorry,
you say
if
if somebody was going for like sort of those foundational levels, would you say like level 100, 200, or even the 200 could be the associate?
Well, I'm scrolling frantically here because I haven't seen a 100 yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen one either.
Yeah. I think for someone who's going for the foundational, like the cloud practitioner, because let's say we start there. Anyone's going for cloud practitioner, definitely recommend Cloud Quest. Take a look at the 4-step plan here. Take a look at the exam guide. Go through all the free stuff here. Paid if you want to, and then graduate into the certified AI practitioner. Free stuff, and then paid if you want to. But yeah, for the 100, I would say Cloud Quest is a really good 100. Let's take a look at the other tab and just make sure we're not missing something though, because we said that there were two, AI/ML and AI/ML. This is AI/ML, and this is AI/ML. There's one. That makes sense. Okay. So level 300, I would say that's also not going to be for foundational, but
But maybe for
For
somebody who's going after the specialty or something like that, they can come in here and because I mean I've used AWS workshops before, and they're they're great. A lot of times I would go back and refer to them when I needed like a snippet of code or something because I'd be like, oh, I
yeah,
saw that in the workshop. Like I can just go there and get it. So um,
Very cool. Well, I learned a lot tonight.
I was on mute. Dang it, that was fun.
Yes, you were.
So
I saw
I
your
was
you
gonna
mouse
can.
say, is
moving.
that something like?
I pulled a Sean earlier. Sean from earlier. Yeah. So yeah, that's like a really good way to like get that snippet of code because it's not just available like at that moment that you're running it, it's available all the time. So you can come back and let's say this one, we're gonna pick on it. AWS machine learning, low code, no code, ML for data scientists. I imagine this is probably if I were to reinvent the wheel and reimagine this without reading the description right now, I'm going to say it's like Amazon Q developer or something like that along those lines. And let's see if I'm right. So you can click on Get Started, and it's going to walk through. Oh, SageMaker Data Wranglers, Jumpstart. That's cool. Autopilot. You can see the setup and resources, the industry focused lab, if it's healthcare, life sciences, or financial services, kind of um, choose your adventure, and then you can see part one for data wrangler. It's going to walk you through. It has a lot of screenshots and like cool graphics and images to like help us visualize where we're going and what we're doing. And you can see like on this like little bar on the right hand side, it's really teeny. So there's a lot of details and content here. So
Yeah.
remember, this is 400. This is 400 level. It's going to take you about 4 hours to just like read through the documentation, but you can actually like deploy this and get something working, and that gives you that referenceable material for you to say, "Hey, I not only read the exam guide, I not only used AI to learn AI," because that's another tip that people often forget. It's like you can take this exam guide and you can say upload it to like Amazon Bedrock and say take this exam guide, attach exam guide, and create a learning plan for me. Don't forget that when you're prompt engineering that, you want to give yourself a persona because Bedrock doesn't know about you. So you could say I have 17 years of IT experience, but I'm just getting started in AI and ML. I need a lesson plan to help me structure and learn. And that's just prompt engineering. You're telling it who you are,
Mhm.
and then you're providing it a document, in this case, the exam guide, and asking it for a learning plan. Be cautious of hallucinations though, because if it says do XYZ and go to this link and the link doesn't work, that's where generative AI has a fault. So be aware of hallucinations.
Yep. Indeed.
Anyway,
Well, I think we're getting close to the top of the hour.
yeah.
I'm not seeing any questions that we haven't already addressed. But any any final thoughts from either of you?
Sean.
No, I just wanted to say thank you, Aaron. I think it's been very helpful, especially
Yes,
a lot of resources here that, people can look for and look to, and hopefully, snippets. I definitely know I've learned a lot from this. So I really appreciate, everything you've talked about here.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
may go recertify my ML cert because I had it, like we mentioned before the show, but I let it lapse. But now, I mean, shoot, I may go try out that 3D escape room. That seems pretty neat. And then go check out some 400 level courses because hopefully I still have some of that still in my head, but it's been a minute since I've taken the exam.
The escape room. You can check out the workshops and even take that official practice question set or the test itself. Let me see, where was it? It was right here, I believe. No, here, all the way at the very bottom. The official pre-test for the AWS certified AI practitioner, and that way it's going to give you some feedback and resources for additional learning. My final thoughts is I want to thank both of you for having me here and the time and the conversation and the opportunity to share some hopefully valuable information to our friends who are watching live. And if they want to
Absolutely.
connect with me, they can go to aaronsshunter.com and do connect me with all the links, which not Blue Sky as of today during this recording, but I'm going to fix that.
It's
Um,
okay. Yeah.
I am on Blue Sky. AaronandHisHunter.com on Blue Sky.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys. And thank you, everyone else. It's been a pleasure. And we'll catch you all next time. Have a good night.
Take care.